Perfect. All right, Tony. Go ahead and state your first and last name for us, please.
Tony Simpson,
And your age.
34.
And what class are you from?
Father support, class 124.
There you go. And how many children do you have?
4.
And what are their names and ages?
Mariana Simpson, she'll be 15 this year.
Uh-huh.
Devin Bolton, he'll be 13. I just turned 13.
Yes.
That's February. And then August 28th will be Keneal Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
And then Khalil, he's actually turned a year.
A year old.
July 2nd.
That's fantastic. And you are the owner of?
Salon Sauce, yes. And
Salon
also
Sauce.
G's In and Out Property Management.
That's right. Okay, fantastic. I'd like you to talk a little bit about what brought you to Father Support Center back in 2017.
Well, yeah, for sure. It was disagreements with my child's mother. Wanting to get better with my child alone or just to mend that relationship for sure. So ultimately the program has already been going on for a while. I heard good things about it and it could help the resources.
Yep.
So what drew me to it was just help, resources and ultimately the love or the gain of that relationship between me and my daughter.
And do you remember what are some of the things that you learned that made you a better parent?
Yeah,
during
for
that
sure.
time?
Personal responsibility was real big and key. So just knowing no matter what the situation may bring, then you have your personal responsibilities and ideals that would alter even that. Something not your fault or is your fault, you should own up to the responsibility and move forward from there. So that's the biggest thing that resonated with me was the personal responsibility and then of course communicating.
And back when you were at Father Support Center, you had this shop open?
No, we just opened February 25th.
Oh.
Yeah, 2019. So we're probably 60 days in now. So.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
And let's talk about a little bit of your family life. Tell me how you grew up. Was your father involved?
No father. Maybe a stepfather there, but no mom worked. 12-hour, 16-hour shifts. Let's see, we high school, city living. Or say city kid. Man, as a child, it's just all I remember is I was working a lot. We didn't really go a lot of places. I don't remember like Six Flags or circuses or things because we always working. Probably didn't have enough. She did what she needed to do to provide and have us there, but I don't. Like with my kids, I remember going to the circus for the first time with them. Incredible Pizza first time with them. Like I did a lot of my first with my children.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Well, so when did you meet your father?
Oh, 15, 16 years old.
And tell me about that experience.
Yeah, short answer with him, he was off and on with the crack, crack head or crack epidemic, and it really had him, even now to this day, it still struggles with it and fights with it. But it was always in and out of jail, so that was what kept him away for the most part. And then once he did get back involved, he didn't probably have all the things to make him the best father.
Exactly.
So it probably kept him away or whatever, how it is, you can't provide. But, as a child, you don't need much. The time will do.
The time.
So that was, that's probably what the biggest realization that I came across.
Okay. And what about when you met him through Father Support Center at NA?
Oh, yeah. We actually met at an NA meeting. Like I told you, he was already battling back and forth. And he has his up and downs where he can kick it for a while. And then in this in particular moment, he was visiting one of the NAs, but he was a director or a representative at the top of the class.
Yeah.
So he was signing off on the paperwork at one, but this one in particular, he was just sitting back. So as I'm there, it's all over, and they say, gotta go to the hugging part. Let's hug, let's meet. And then we turn around and go hug, and then next thing you know, I'm looking, Pops, what are you doing here?
And Father Support Center told you had to attend NA meetings.
For sure, yeah. Once you come on, if you don't test clean and things of that nature, then they would not. You would have to be 2 weeks of drug class. They want you clean. They want to definitely administer all the proper techniques, not just push you through.
So I really want to talk about how you became a father to your father. And how you let him in on the property management business. Can you talk a little bit about that?
For sure. Just meeting him, like I said, we met up during that time shortly after the property management company came in mind, just figuring out what we like to do, working good with our hands,
Father and son working
and
together.
there you go. So that was the father and son business. His name's Greg, and I got a younger brother named Greg, and he's arrested as well. So the company came from G's In and Out, came from that organically, you know. So just G's is guaranteed bid from bid to finish.
And so you and your father were working together on?
Yeah, for sure. We went out on plenty of jobs. He's a hard worker. I'm telling you, he can't take anything from his work ethic. He's definitely a hard worker. When he puts his mind to it, he's going to get the job done. Just when he gets that bug back and it throws her off, and now you miss him for days at a time, it throws off the consistency.
Have you been able to contact him since he left you last?
No. We actually did a good week, you know, went home with money and things of that nature. So he had money, but it just, I don't know if the kick got him to where he would, he just wouldn't act like himself. So that's one of the things that just led us to just not necessarily do business as well. But I'm always gonna be your father. I remember one day he's yelling, I'm done, and I'm literally like, you done with the job, you done for the day. That'd be my pop. Like, I don't know exactly what angle you mean by you're done. So he definitely was battling a lot of mental, stresses.
Now what made you turn out the way you turned out versus your dad?
Short answer would just know that that's not the right way. If anything, I've used him as a reason why I do the things that I do. Like, I didn't have a father, but I'm going to be there for my children, or just knowing that wasn't the right choice, or not choosing that as my choice, making alternate choices. And that's been literally all my whole life. So.
And so your kids now, what kind of things do you guys do together?
Oh, we can do a little bit of everything now. I try to be as more active as possible. With building the business, of course, that's going to be the deciding time for them. But when I'm away from my work, I just enjoy my family time.
Explain how you're leaving a legacy to your children.
For sure, everything I own is theirs. They know it.
That's why you created this business.
That's it. Every business, everything I do, I know they have to have it, because I'm a kid. 30 years, even before I was 34, I was 30 years in mind, thought, thinking. I'm gonna have my son at 10 years old know what I know at 30 years old. Just experiences and different things, like, that will propel him to be further. If I knew what my father knew back then, let's say 10 years old, but he's not there when I was 10, he didn't come around till I was 15, then he's not as active, so he's not putting those jewels to minister me that way. Then my son has it at 10, when he's 15, what great things he's gonna do, because I didn't have any kickstart. You don't get the car at 16, you don't get allowances, you don't get all those things from that whole other equal, So your mom, she's working hard, she's giving you the things she should give you, but it's still going to be that balance that's not there.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, what do your kids think about your business that you
Man,
created?
they love
do
it.
They hang out here?
Yeah, they love it. They come visit. My son, for sure, he just loves it. He probably wants to be a barber, but I'm telling him, no, just pick different things. We got this as a business, you own this already. So I'm just planting those seeds where you don't have to necessarily work, in a sense, to own some things, So we're going into property. He's been on jobs, working on houses with me. He knows how to work a tape measure.
So he's learning to become an entrepreneur?
For sure, you have to. I mean, I feel like that's one of the ways. Not the only way, but it makes it a lot easier to survive, rather than going and try to find your way or find a job, where that works. But I think if you educate yourself and you apply the right tools, invest the money in the right businesses or in the right area, then now that should be flourishing. If it doesn't flourish, then you can try again, but it's not over. You didn't fail. That opportunity didn't work. So get that first fail out of you if it is going to be a fail. Otherwise, it's booming business.
I want you to think back right before we go into Ferguson. Tell me who you were before and after Father's Support Center, if you can kind of condense it.
Yeah, short answer, I'm the same person. If anything, they just confined in my mind. I was probably a stronger, independent thinker and really didn't have a lot of give on my way.
So you were flexible, open-minded.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Real strong. Could be overbearing. It wouldn't be could be. It was overbearing. Where it shows like, okay, well, that's not necessarily the way. It's other ways you can get your point across and not be overbearing. You can listen more because you're not necessarily right on all angles, and you have to listen and take into the. It's other things to take advice other than just a strong person. Yeah, you're doing good, but also, like I said, that stubbornness makes it worse on another end with dealing with different people in the communication piece.
So you were teachable.
Yeah, I've always been teachable, but it's still a stubborn piece because you're a leader, and it's kind of like knowing what to listen to and it's balancing all those different systems out. So going into Father Support System, Father Support Center, I was definitely young-minded, still strong, independent male, but family-oriented, but I still didn't know these informations about family, about getting along, not saying baby mama. That was a big thing if I was.
You remember that?
Yeah, I paid a bunch of money. Cursing, baby mother line or baby daddy line, all those things are just bad practices. So not that I was doing much wrong, just bad practices in certain areas, and then everybody don't deal with those bad practices the same, or they can use that as an excuse now, like just having a conversation, showing facial expressions. And then that will make a person trigger off your facial expression, not what you're talking about. So being able to self-control that, to not, just show a facial expression just because that's how you feel, but then it triggers and now you're off point. So just to get to the point, stay to the topic, kind of count your own wrongs, count your own steps, mistakes. So that's one thing.
It turns you into a better communicator.
For sure. And it's just more information. The one thing I did take from it, just eating right, eating better. The nutrition class is one thing that's stuck with me for a lot.
Thank you for mentioning that.
For sure.
True.
The nutrition class was a lot. Just the different interactions with the different facilitators and the speakers. It just basically said, but you're not always right. I do. It's all good. I'm sure they're going to chop it up and screw it or something, sound bite it.
Right on. I see you, great man.
Nah, man, that is change, man.
You got five, Mike?
That is change, man. I ain't got it.
I got 24, man.
Yeah, I ain't got it. Yeah, I know you got it. We know you got it. You here, That's what I got.
All right, real quick question about Ferguson. Yeah,
okay.
No, that was perfect, Ferguson. So you were there when it happened.
The not the initial shooting,
Right.
but the 1 year anniversary to the verdict. I remember going to get my kids some school clothes. We tried to go to Walmart on West Florissant, and it was like 9 o'clock, maybe 8:30 at night. I'm taking the kids home, and I thought about it. Wait a minute, you need a shirt, you need probably a pair of khakis. Last minute shopping. Pull up on one of the lots, very close by it. People everywhere, cars congested. It was right after the verdict was rendered, where it was a non-guilty verdict. So everybody was irate, and it was like this was like the Walmart thing was going on, and literally pull on the lot. My kids are in the car, and all I see is her daddy. Look over, guy throwing a rock literally into the shoe carnival that was there.
Yeah.
Second time he picks it up, he throws it again. People flood over like roaches and just running in. It was just really, but it was more, the city was more upset at the verdict and didn't know how to necessarily handle their anger, rather than, so it was like taking it out on anything it could, just like releasing that energy. Well, really, honestly, I just feel we wasn't involved at all. We was trying to go to Walmart and go home, so everybody wasn't involved. The city wasn't engulfed in it, but it was so many of the wrong people doing the wrong things that it overshadowed why they were out there, I think.
If you had a chance to talk to some of the youth that were involved in being angry and upset, what would you say to them?
Personal responsibility. Never putting yourself in a position that Mike Brown was in. And what I mean by never putting yourself in that position, say he was in the right place at the right time, but let's say there's things you could have done differently, like not be disrespectful at all, to just always take that high road.
With the officer.
Just period, just count your wrongs in the wrong, and it just lowers your risk. And a lot of times I feel if they don't count their wrongs in that, like say everybody else is doing it, that's not a good reason for you to do it, because everybody else is doing it. You should have personal responsibility, stand strong. You know what, that's not the right thing or the wrong, and that's one thing I say to just keep everyone safe. Just be more respectful, be more mindful, self-preservation, personal responsibility to each individual action. As a child, I feel our parents are forced into the responsibility role for our actions. Delinquency or truancy, all those different things. You're 100% responsible for your actions, even though your parents might take the consequence. You're still your actions, and I don't think it's belayed or relayed early enough.
Right.
It's like, okay, your parents are your responsibility, or you are, no, you are your responsibility. Your actions are your actions.
What if they're still angry? What do you do with all that anger and aggression?
They got to focus it towards something positive. The answer is going to be positivity and balance. So if you're still angry, cool. Write a book, write music, write a story, tell your side of the story. Just put it out there in ways that other people can learn from it, the good things from it, or just put it in different perspectives. So if they're writing books, writing music, those things are peaceful, then it should create more positive pieces out of it. It should just breed more positivity.
And since you're from Ferguson, how is it today?
Yeah, I would say right afterwards it was semi-peaceful because it was just like there was a lot of duress. I know the police felt like they were definitely in the wrong, or should have felt like they were in the wrong. So I know it blanketed the force to kind of like, okay, lower their, I guess you could like power struggle or whatever what you want to call it, what that makes a person just go above and beyond the call of duty in the wrong direction, whatever that free will is, right? But afterwards, I felt like it was peaceful. Now I would say everything's back to, in a sense, normal, you know, for the most part. Yeah, for the families, they're hurt forever though. But the streets are back to normal. You know, the street lights never stop, you know, going on. It's a couple of businesses were burned down in the process over the couple of years.
They rebuilt.
Yeah, but now they rebuilt, or they tore them down, or they coming back. That stuff is back to normal, you know. So the dialogue in the community is, for me, they would just need to, for like I said, even Mike Brown's family, they would need to keep going, keep persevering. But for those that took the life, it's like, okay, you got a one-off. You know, he's not guilty. You know, so it's like the justice is not there. So we definitely feel unjust. But now you know better. You know, it's a learning experience that we're so used to, accustomed to. You know, where it's definitely a norm. You know.
One thing I wanted to jump in and remind us to talk about is your school program, the free haircuts.
Okay, yeah, Look Good, Do Good.
Look Good, Do Good.
Yes, I started in 2013.
Okay.
Good friend of mine, Kenny, he literally was giving away free Christmas presents. Wallbridge Elementary, I just asked to tag along. Maybe I could cut some hair. Maybe I can help pass out some gifts. The principal at the time okayed it, which was Dr. Young, I believe her name was. And I talked with a couple of counselors and did all the type of parameters to get into the school and cut the kids up and just to talk that good piece to them. And they let me in and cut like 30 kids that first go around, and then we were there every month after that.
And you're still doing it?
Yeah, we still do it.
Don't you have regulations, like you have to have perfect attendance?
Yeah, we end up changing it. We first start pulling them out of the hallways, call your mom, call your dad, you need a haircut, you're looking rough, and then it turned to permission slips, perfect 30 days attendance, you know, different systems that make them qualified for it. I cut them for free, but they just repay me with good grades and better behavior, you know. So it was a real simple agreement, yeah, for sure. And I don't mind cutting her. So it was taking my profession and doing it for a nonprofit cause. And then of course your profit business will benefit from it, but that ain't what it's about. I'll do this away for free because it's effortless now. It's what I do on my regular every day, doing it for 10, 15 years. So cutting hair for kids has always been a soft spot in my heart, or youth, period.
God bless your word. Thank you so much. That's it.
Yeah.
See, pretty painless.